Hello everyone, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank, and today we're talking about Doctor Doom Issue 2. So when we last left off with the good Doctor Doom, he had, been accused of destroying a space station on the moon, and he was in the process of surrendering, actually, and he's like, you know what, he surrenders because Doom pretty much, going by this, Doom didn't do it. We as the reader in issue 1 did not see any indication that Doom was doing it, so yeah, he didn't do it. But everyone knows that he spoke out against it, that it was a really bad idea to put a black hole on the moon, let alone the fact that, Reed Richards and Tony Stark are doing it, and nothing they've ever done has blown up horribly in someone's face, yeah. So here we are now with Doom being escorted by a good number of mercenaries. Actually, there's Agent Zero, there's Special Ops Captain, Union Jack, Amy Chen, Herbie, which is a droid built by, an android built by Reed Richards, Silver Sable, and Doctor Strange. These people are all here to keep an eye on Doom, and it's sort of interesting that no one's really started to look at the idea that maybe Doom didn't do this, but the problem is the evidence is pretty damning. Because not only did they blow it up, but they also waved the Latverian flag. And the missiles came from Latveria. So, yeah, we're not quite sure. There's a fun little bit where this droid, Herbie, calls Victor Mr. Doom. Strange goes, it's Dr. Doom. Look, it'll all be a lot easier if we are as professional as possible here. Because, Doom's not fighting back. He's not making any bold statements or anything. And while they're both sitting there, Doom and Strange have a talk. And Doom and Strange are Strange may be the closest thing he has to a quote-unquote friend that he's willing to talk to. Like, I think he wants to be Reed Richards' friend, but he really, really, really would rather not be. I don't think so. Like, Reed might be the closest thing he has to a friend, but they aren't, because Doom has done some really, really unforgivable things to Reed, but whatever. So, Doom talks to me, we've been to hell and back, and Strange goes, a few times you tried to leave me there once, but I didn't do any of this. And he says, I swear on my mother's soul. And, that would mean something. That does, because Doom loves his mother. It's also gone to hell to get his mother's soul back. Meanwhile, at the Latverian War Room, Victorious, who is the regent of Latveria while Doom's gone, is pretty much ceding control of Latveria to the UN. And it goes about as well as one would think. She was instructed to, peacefully hand over, to cooperate with the UN. And if anything, she really just sort of points out that, they're not investigating their Latveria's enemies, namely Skinkaria and their aggression towards Latveria. And there's a really cool moment when one of the guys asks, would you mind removing that, insane helmet? And she goes, would you ever ask Doom to remove his helmet? And while Doom is sort of like thinking about his life, giving off a really interesting rhyme, I'm not sure what it's about, but it's hard to say. But then Kang shows up. Kang's like, Doom, Victor, you won't believe where I came from. I saw this really cool future where, like, years from now, you're the magnanimous leader of an eternally peaceful Earth. Like, you were right, Doom. It's always been you. Doom is like, okay. So if you want that future, you're gonna have to get me out of this plane. So Kang does, because he's like, yeah, let's do it. Add a little magic from Victor, and he's able to get out there. And he ends up in New York. And while he's walking through New York, incognitus, still can't help but wear the green, Morgan Le Fey, of all people, magically hijacks the TV screens so she can communicate with Victor. Victor's like, Morgan Le Fey. Oh, I'm sorry. He goes, Morgan Le Fey, or Morgan Le Fey. I'm not quite sure how Doom sounds. He's had a couple different voices, but whatever. Morgan's like, hey, it's okay. Nobody else can see you because I'm magic. And I'm not quite sure about the nature of their relationship, but it seems like they're pretty close. Like, Morgan Le Fey may have been one of those could-haves for Doom. If Doom wasn't 100% Doom, he could have gotten Morgan Le Fey. But also, if he wasn't 100% Doom, Morgan Le Fey probably wouldn't want him. That's how that works. She says, look, come visit me in Queens. I got a place. So they go, they visit, they hug. She's got him some food. He goes, takes a shower. She cleans up his clothes. and they listen to music. And Victor talks about, exactly what's been going on here. And that he's been glimpsing his future. In the future, he's totally healed. He has children. He has a wife. He saved the entire world. And he's like, I don't believe that. That has to be a lie. I've seen this Victor. He's weak. He's experienced none of the hardships that I have. And Victor sort of hates the dude. And going by that, yeah, I'd hate him too. If you live your life and you've gone through all these hardships and trials and tribulations, and there's this other version of you that has none of that, is doing bad, like, you know what? Screw that guy. Hate him. Just hate him. Just hate him. But he has to know if this future is the true one. And he acts like if Morgan Le Fey can do it, she's like, my powers have sort of like, greatly diminished here, but she could try. And all she can say is like, it's hazy, but she's got a guy. She knows a guy that can help. So she goes in, she gets like another mask for Doom. Like, it doesn't need to be strong armed, we need the Doom mask. So she reaches into some part of the future, because she doesn't know where she pulled it from. And there's a really cool moment here when Doom says, like, you know what? He's okay with it because he could use some dignity. He's talking about his face. And this is when Morgan just says, like, it's your real face that makes you truly interesting. So, meanwhile, something has to be done about Victor, because, someone's got to get him, especially if we think, he blew up that space station. So they've contacted Blue Marvel. Now, Blue Marvel, I am not well versed in Blue Marvel. This video is a lot of me telling you how little I know about the Marvel Universe. But I know Blue Marvel is often debated as being one of the people that could beat Superman. So, there you go. He's also just as smart as Victor, or at least as smart as Reed, or at least Reed Richards thinks he's pretty smart. Blue Marvel's like, oh, people finally want to talk to me now, huh? People finally acknowledge I exist? Okay. So they go looking for Victor. Victor finds the Witness. So the Witness, his power is to look at the moment you die. He looks into your eyes, says, oh, that's when you die. He sees exactly what's going on there. And Victor's like, all right, look at my eyes. And Duke is like, it's the saddest day on Earth. It's beautiful. The day Victor Von Doom dies is the saddest day in Earth's history. And Doom's like, are you crazy? What is wrong with you? That is stupid. And then Victor gets shot by what looks to be the Taskmaster. And that's how the comic ends. So, what was this? I love it. Little subtle character moments with Victor Von Doom. I've been reading some more Fantastic Four lately, and let me tell you right now, Doom is either someone who you really hate or really love, and this is one of those books to show you why you'd love him. Because, yeah, he's a bit of a snark. He's a bit of a douche. But he also means well. He's also amazingly confident, and he's right 8 times out of 10. And also this really vulnerable moment he has, where it's like, what? There can't be a future where I'm that happy. There can't be any version of me that's that happy, especially a version that doesn't do all the work that I've done, that hasn't gone through everything. Because then what's the point of my life? I love that he can't envision the idea of him being happy. I don't know. Remember Infamous Iron Man? That story was great too. Anyway, with that in mind, let's bring this video to a close here. If you're new to the Manga Think Tank, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, and I will catch you all later. This is the Manga Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching, and as always, may your fandom serve you well.